the day. I have a question. I have a question for all the married ladies in the house. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're married. Okay, let's see. Wait. Does your husband work? Stand up for a second. Does he work?
He does.
Does he go out for lunch?
Oh, well,
from his office?
No, he has lunch in his office, yes.
You pack the lunch for him?
No.
What does he do? He just orders in?
Yes.
And he sits at his desk every day at lunchtime and eats that lunch?
Well, he's supposed to.
Oh, he's supposed to. So you're not really quite sure if he's there or not?
No, I'm not.
Oh, really? Well, hey, that's good. Anybody else? Who's another married lady in the house? Put those hands back up. Oh, don't act shy now. Yes, ma'am. Does your husband work?
Yes, he does.
What does he do?
He works as a chain accounts manager.
Okay, so now he goes out for lunch a lot because he has to run around to different places, huh?
Yes, he does.
And do you ever know where he's going for lunch?
No, not really.
Does he ever pack? You pack him a lunch sometimes?
No.
So he eats out?
Yes, he does.
Do you know exactly where he eats out?
No.
Oh, really? Well, let me just tell you something about today's show. Today's show is one of those shows about married women. I'm sorry, I mean to stop you, but, you know, married women. You're at home and your husband's at work and he says, I'm going to lunch, babe. And you say, okay. Where are you going? Well, I don't know yet. And then he goes off. Do you think that he could be going to a place maybe that you might not approve of?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You're pretty sure about that, huh?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, let's find out about this, because that's what we're talking about today. What do husbands really do on that lunch break? I'm going to show you some things that some husbands across the country are doing, because these clubs are sprouting up all over America. They're called chat clubs. Take a look at this tape.
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful. I'm cute. Hey, Mary, why don't you let me dance for you, and then maybe we can talk a little bit after that.
Okay. After 6 years of marriage, the communication lines aren't what they used to be, and she doesn't look like she used to be.
You thought of maybe having your wife dance for you?
Well, if my wife could see me now, I think I'll have to sleep with her more often.
Well, that's called a chat club. And what happens is guys can go to lunch, sit down, eat their meal, and sit down at a table with a woman who has just danced for him and carry on a conversation. Now, you say you're not real sure about where he goes for lunch, huh? Do you think he may have ever gone to one of these places?
I don't think so.
He's not here to defend himself. I wish he was. You hope not? Well, I'll tell you what, joining us right now is Mark. Welcome, Mark, to the show, please. Now, Mark, you go to these kinds of places at lunch, huh?
That's right.
You do. How often do you go?
Oh, once, twice a week.
Once or twice a week. And you go to have lunch, and you sit down, and you carry on a conversation with a young lady there?
That's correct.
You do?
I enjoy going to the clubs because they're exciting. I feel comfortable there. And the particular club that I go to see a particular lady. Her name is Lacey.
Lacey.
Yeah.
And you go there every single week, and you sit down right... I mean, you're spending a lot of money.
I could easily spend $400, $500 a day there.
400 or 500 bucks a day there.
Yeah.
You bought her gifts?
Oh, yeah.
You've gone back and taken her flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You are also engaged.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're engaged.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. When were you planning on getting married? When's your wedding date?
June 11th of this year. But I'm not too sure that I want to get married anymore. My fiance's name is Nikki, and I've become real attracted and fallen in love with Lacey, and I don't want to marry Nikki any longer.
And does Nikki know this? She doesn't know this.
No.
But we brought her here to New York, so you could tell Nikki this face to face, because that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to tell her, right?
Yeah, yeah.
On television. Now,
yes.
Nikki is backstage right now. Nikki, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, Nikki, you just heard your man say that, you know, he has decided to call off the engagement because he thinks he wants to be engaged with someone else. Do you want to come out and talk about this?
Excuse me?
Do you want to come out here and talk about this?
Yeah.
Come on out, Nikki. Nikki, this is did you have any idea he was doing this?
What is he doing?
What is he doing now?
Right.
You didn't get to hear part of the tape.
No.
But what
I couldn't hear you guys back there.
Well, what Mark has been doing for the last couple of months is he has been going to a strip place, a club, that's called a chat club. And every week he goes at least 2 times a week. He spends about $400 each time he goes on one particular lady. And the one particular lady that he spends his money on, her name is Lacey. And I don't know if you heard what he said before you walked out, but he just told us that he wants to call off the engagement because he now has fallen in love with Lacey, and he doesn't think that the two of you should get married.
That's right.
Wow.
What do you think? I mean, did you have any idea that he was going to these kind of clubs?
No, but I know he likes pretty women.
Well, you're a very pretty woman, so why wouldn't you be enough for this man?
Apparently he's got a problem.
Apparently he has a problem? Well, let me ask you a question. Would you like to meet the lady that he has been going to see twice a week? Every day?
Oh
Let me bring her out. Lexi, why don't you come on out? And this is Lacey. Please welcome Lacey to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Nicole, this is the lady that he goes and spends $800 a week on, along with gifts and other things, during the lunch hour when he's supposed to be at lunch. And he says, what did you say, Mark? You want to call this off so you can be with her?
Yes.
No, wait. Lacey, have you prompted this? Have you told him that, you know, you want something outside of the club?
No, I have not. I pretty much I dance in a club and I meet several people like Mark, and you know, I'm in it for the money. I dance for the money, and I don't think I would ever go out with someone that came into the club.
No.
I don't miss my personal life and my professional life.
And so now this man is basically saying right here on national television, I want to break up with my fiance because he thinks he's going to marry you. What?
I would tell Nicole to dump him anyway, first off.
And second of all?
Second off, I would tell both of them to wake up from a fantasy that they're both living. Obviously, Nikki thinks that Mark is her Romeo, and I think Mark thinks I'm his Juliet. I think we're all living in a fantasy world here, and it's time to stop right now.
It is. So
Gone
now,
too far.
if he decides, now this, he goes through with what he says he wants to go through with, and he walks into the club with a ring and says, you know, Lacey, will you be mine? What are you going to say to him?
Wake up.
Wake up?
Wake
Get
up.
a grip?
Yes.
But after he wakes up, does he have any reason to think that you're going to probably be with him?
No, I think that as he knows that the only time I see him is at work, okay? And he knows he has to compete with other people for my attention. You know, it's like an auction. Whoever has the most money gets my attention. If you don't have any money, you don't get my attention. You know, that's the way it is.
So when that checkbook runs out, buddy, you know, the ring is already bought.
Right.
You're like out in the cold. As a matter of fact, you may be out in the cold right now anyway.
I think so.
I don't know, Nikki. Nikki, what do you think? I mean...
Oh, he's gone.
Huh?
He's gone.
He's gone?
No. Hi, Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I think you should be happy that you're with her because you don't look all that, you know, good to be thinking you have choices. Second of all, I think you should take that ring and slap him with it in his face.
Well, don't slap him with it right this second. You can do that maybe a little. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, stand up. Yes, ma'am.
Mark,
Right.
first of all, what makes you think that you're the only man that Stacy wanted in her life? You need to get a life, okay? You really do, because you ain't all about nothing, and you only come a dime a dozen when it comes to Jack Club.
Why can't you talk to your fiancé the way you talk to Lacey?
Well, I did originally. You know, I mean, we've been engaged since, well, January of this year. And as I had gone out a little bit more and things like that, and then I met Lacey, and I just kind of drifted emotionally away from Nikki.
But why didn't you just tell her, Nikki, I've drifted, and it's time that we call this off?
I guess I was a little bit undecided. I'd been a little bit undecided up the last couple of weeks, maybe.
But now, you know, you must be like big time undecided right this second, because Lacey just looked you in the face and said, hey, buddy, when the money runs out, see ya. You know? So now you're kind of undecided, but by yourself.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately? So do you want to now take these words back that you said?
To Nikki?
Yes.
I think to be honest and truthful, I'd have to really sort things out.
You need to sort things out, Nikki? Are you going to let him sort, huh?
He's got a problem.
Are you going to let him sort these things out, or are you out the door now?
He's got a problem.
He's got a problem. All right, look, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to some other people who are finding out that their husbands may not really be at lunch when you think they're at lunch. We'll be back right after this.
We were married 10 years.
10 years.
Gorgeous wedding ring.
Thank you.
I really like that. Beautiful.
Would you like to dance for me?
You know, I would love to. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sit back, get comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, let me take care of you.
Okay. You look very nice in that.
Thank you.
Well, we're talking about what husbands have been doing on their lunch break. Now, I got to come over late. Is this what goes on? These guys come in and they show you the wedding ring, they show you the baby pictures, they talk about their wife, they talk about their problems. Is this what happens?
More or less, I most of the time feel like a psychiatrist.
Really?
They come in with their problems. You develop more or less with someone that comes in pretty, often. You develop a relationship to where you pretty much know what's going on to the point they come in when they have problems. They discuss them with you. When actually, I'd rather not hear about it.
But this is what this is now turned into like a pretty lucrative business. They not only pay for the dance, but they pay for your time. Is that correct?
Correct.
They bid on your time.
Yes, it's true. I think that a lot of women would much rather their husbands coming into clubs like this than going into regular bars where the girl is on the other side of the bar with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a very big issue, I'm sure, with women that most of you don't think that your husbands come into clubs like ours, but they do. I mean, when your husband's away on a convention in Las Vegas, don't think he's not out spending his money over credit card time at my club, because he is.
Better start listening. Listen up. Yes,
I guarantee you they get their...
know what he does for a living, that he can afford to spend this kind of money.
Yeah, what are you doing for a living there, Mark?
I have an entertainment company in Las Vegas.
Okay. So you entertain, and when did the two of you meet? Nicole, when did you meet?
We met at a den.
What?
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant? How long ago?
A year and a half ago.
So you dated for about a year?
A little bit, yeah.
Huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just about 7 months, and I asked her to marry me.
Then this year, past?
January 3rd.
January 3rd. And so you've been engaged since then, and you're looking forward to wedding day. You look like you were in absolute shock, Nicole. I mean, what's going on?
I didn't know.
You didn't know at all? He didn't leave any telltale traces or any signs behind that he was going to these
He
clubs?
says he has a lot of business, that he does a lot of business with his band, setting up music and all that. So I figured, he's going to work, then go on and do your work.
But do you know how much money he brings?
Wait, I'll tell you what. Let me do this. Joining us right now are Chevelle and her husband, Roger. Welcome them to the show. And you have kind of a similar story, right? Chevelle, why don't you tell us what happened with Roger?
Well, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we were just living together, and we were having some problems. He said that I wasn't paying enough attention to him, which I don't feel that's right. But, well, I'm telling the story. And, and he says I wasn't paying enough attention to him, and he went to one of these clubs and he met a girl, and he did like she says, he talked to her, whatever, and supposedly telling her our problems, and he fell in love with her and left me for her.
Left you?
Left me.
Just left you in the cold?
Left me high and dry. I didn't even know he was gone. He told me he was going to L.A. When I came back home, because we had to have problems, I went to my mom's house and I stayed for like a day, and then there was a concert the next day, some other things, and I came home. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go home. I'm going to make this work. And I got all my stuff, and I came back home. Everything was gone. The next thing I know, our landlord was coming to me saying that I had to get out of the apartment because it was in his name. It was his apartment. I moved in with him. and tell me I had to get my stuff. I had one day, I had to be at work at 1 o'clock, and she told me that one I had to get all of our stuff out and move it.
It's not even like that. That's
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
It was a situation.
You weren't there. You were with her, so you cannot tell me what happened when you weren't there.
Okay, then let me talk. You put yourself in a position. I was in a relationship with her. We were having problems as it was. She was going out with her friends while I would work. I felt like I was contributing a lot to the relationship, and while I was away, all she was doing out was, while the cat's away, the mice will play.
But I wasn't
basically, she was going out.
He had sex with her. I went out with my friends, girlfriends. We went out, and that's it.
I found continual men's numbers in her things all the time. We were having problems over this.
No.
I went out to a club.
He has female friends. They called my house. None of my male friends were ever allowed to call my house. I had male friends before we met. He knew them. He knew of them. They were even friends, but they were not allowed to call if he was not home. But his female friends called my house at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after he would get off work. They would be calling my house. I'd be asleep, and I'd be going, hello, can I speak to Roger? Not even know, hi, Chevelle, how you doing? No, nothing. I didn't even know these women, and they were calling my house for him, and it was okay. It was supposed to be okay.
Was that going on, Roger?
There were people where I work. I'm an MC. I announce people a lot.
At one of these clubs?
No.
No? Where do you work at?
I just work for a club.
Okay.
I do a lot of hosting and things like that.
Right.
At night we would sit there and we'd get done. People would call up after work. Hey man, great show, you did great, everything was fine.
But these are all women. No men ever called my house at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, but now you did end up going to one of these clubs, a chat club. You fell in love with the lady there.
I ended up meeting the lady. First thing we did was spoke about problems that I was having in my relationship.
Why didn't you talk to Chevelle about these problems?
Tried that.
No, he did not.
She was out. Okay.
He said I was out when he was at work, so how could he talk to me when he was at work?
She wants me to, I mean, if truth be known, she was going out, there's, where we were, she went out with her friends sometimes, I went out with my friends sometimes, but the thing was is, the nights that she would choose to go out with her friends, and our relationship was already going in a downhill slope, she turns around on nights that I'm off and decides she's going to go out with her friends.
I think they all just need to go to counseling. I mean, if they love the girl...
But they may all come in to see you. You counsel.
Well, I'm not a counselor. I am not a professional counselor. I am not a shrink. I can give you advice, but my advice may not work for you. I mean, of course I meet people of all walks of life. I have my own life, and I don't mix my personal life with my professional life. It's a no-no.
You say you don't do that, but there are girls out there who does like the one that was with him.
Okay,
He says that she probably was going around telling people she didn't mix her personal life with her business life either.
Okay.
And she did, and you do, and you're just like a prostitute because he paid her for her time, and she went home and had sex with him. That's exactly what happened.
Well, we wouldn't call a counselor a prostitute
because the counselor does not have sex with you.
But in the clubs, I gotta get this straight.
Well,
but in these kinds of clubs,
there are girls who do.
In these kinds of clubs, they're not allowed to touch. They're not allowed to have intimate
That's
contact.
what they're not allowed to do within those club perimeters. Whatever they do outside of those clubs, if they don't tell, who's going to tell?
But I never, ever, never, and I make this very clear, see anyone outside my club because it's dangerous. First off, you can get people who stalk you. You can, I mean, several different things. It becomes very dangerous.
Okay.
I mean, I've had that problem. I make it very clear to my customers. Now, other girls don't. Okay, there are plenty of girls. There are good girls and there are bad girls. There are good guys and there are bad guys. And I'll tell you what, first off, if you're making your husband happy at home or you guys have an open relationship and you discuss things together, you wouldn't have these problems in the first place.
Okay.
Oh,
and that's
not, no.
Okay, hold on. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question and a comment.
Sure.
First of all, Lacey, you're telling us after seeing you dance and what you wear...
That wasn't her.
Oh, that wasn't her?
No.
All right, well...
Go ahead.
Seeing how these girls dance and what they wear, there's absolutely no sex involved?
Correct. There is no sex. It's all a fantasy.
I find that a little hard to believe.
I will tell you, we sent our producers out to a couple of these clubs, and there are clubs like this around the country. The thing that is hard to believe is that there are doctors, there are nurses, there are lawyers, there are college professor women who are working in these clubs.
Yes.
In these clubs now, and these guys are coming to them. It's kind of like, go get counseling, but see a naked body at the same time you get it. And that's what's going on. The clubs themselves at least stand behind the fact that they're legitimate. What the girls do in off time, we don't know.
Now I have a comment for Nicole. How old are you, Nicole?
19.
Okay, you're 19. You're a lovely-looking young lady. And all I can tell you is it may hurt now, but in the long run, it's better that this happened now than after you were married, because evidently, the way he is, he was going to do this. Somewhere along the line, time it was going to happen. Better it happen now before you have to go through a messy divorce or whatever. At least now you're free to walk away.
And these men are not going to change. They're not going to change.
That's right. All right, look, we got to take another little break. When we come back, we're going to meet a wife who went into one of these topless bars just for the first time to see what it is that attracts her husband and drags him out and makes him go there. We'll come out and see what she has to say after being in paying a visit. We'll be back after that. On the next Montel Williams show, you're going to meet ladies who are furious at the fact that someone stole their husband, and they're fighting back.
If she would have just stepped out of the picture, there would have been none of this. He had no intentions of leaving.
Ladies who are seeking revenge against the women who stole their husbands on the next Montel Williams show. We've been talking about the new trend in adult clubs, and this is a club where guys go during their lunch hour and they go to watch women undress and they watch women strip, but at the same time they pay for this woman's time so that she can then sit down with them after she has done a dance and sit down and talk. It's like counseling. It's like, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, street-level counseling in a sense, not to say that it's street, but just basic counseling. You go in, you get a little entertainment, and then you sit there and you pour your heart out to a woman that you don't know, and you tell her, Mom, wife is just so terrible to me. It's just, she's mad. She just makes me mad. Are you married? Stand up for a second. Now, what would you say if your husband went to one of these places and he was sitting down and counseling? You found out about it 3 or 4 weeks later. What would you say?
I'd be very upset.
Would you? Why?
Because I feel that it'd be something in my relationship that would be lacking, that I can't satisfy him, that he has to go to
But wouldn't you just say, okay, I'll tell you what, if he's going, there you go, some ladies agree. If you found out he was doing this, then why wouldn't you, like, go get one of these slinky little outfits, and when he comes home from work one day, go, boom, 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 baby, now talk to me. Huh?
Probably would.
You probably would? Oh, that's a good wife right there. Good. Your husband should do the same thing for you. Yeah. Well, joining us right now is Rebecca. When I want to ask, Rebecca, when did you realize that your husband was going to places like this?
Well, when I found the receipt on the credit card statement. There it was in black and white.
Really?
My husband is supposed to be going out of town on business trips. And on these same occasions, here they are, the receipts. Credit card receipt is there. It's in black and white.
The names of the club.
He can deny it all he wants. There it is, $100 in one night on these kinds of women. Silicone women.
We have another woman that's here. Andrea is here. Andrea is here. And Andrea, you work in one of these clubs, right?
Yeah, I do.
And just tell us, I mean, they make it sound like it's your fault because you're there. It's like, you know, people can go walking by. It's just like in a grocery store. You're pushing your cart down a grocery store aisle. You see broccoli, you don't want it, you don't pick it up. You see, you know, string beans, you don't want it, you don't pick it up. You go over here, sweet potatoes, you might want them, you pick it up. Now, the grocery store is the street. Your husband is driving by in his car. He sees this club. If he doesn't want it, he doesn't have to go in. Nobody stands in the street, hooking him around the neck and making him come in. So what's the problem?
They have found a pretty way to package and legalize prostitution. That's what they've done. They find a legal way to prostitute themselves.
How do you figure it's prostitution?
Because they pay you and you sleep with them.
You can market it any way.
Hold on a minute, Ava. Hold on. You have a microphone.
In that club.
But see, wait a minute. The point is, though, to make that as a blanket statement to say that all these women that work in these clubs are sleeping with the guys or the customers, somebody's like, I don't know, I shouldn't give it out because I don't know if you report this to the IRS. But how much, if you're getting $400 from him for an hour, and you're there for 12 hours in a day.
I've made like $4,000 in one night.
In one night. And some women that, we've been to these clubs, I've talked to some of these ladies, and these women are making up to $15,000 a week to do nothing but talk to your husband. So if he's talking to him, why does he have to have sex with him?
You can see at my club what you see at a beach. I mean, not at a nude beach. I mean, I would never dance nude, okay? And none of these guys are Richard Gere.
Excuse me. Okay. Yes, none of these guys
none of these guys are Richard Gere, okay? And I'm not going to sleep with any man for any amount of money. I have my own Romeo, okay?
But it happens. He slept with one. I mean, that's just like...
And wait, is that...
met in a bar one night.
Rebecca, is that what happened with your husband?
That's true, but he wouldn't watch a woman in a bar dance naked on the table.
My husband denies it 100%, and you can deny it all you want, too. The fact remains is that these women are sleeping
some of
with
them
our
are.
husbands, our boyfriends, and God only knows what.
And if they were real women, why would, I mean, me, being who I am, if they were real women, I wouldn't sit and take, knowing this man has, third man has bills to pay, a wife, a child, why would you take that money? You know what I mean? That's like...
Because he's giving it to us, that's why.
I know, but then you're taking, you're not even thinking about their child. You're taking that money out of their child's pay.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. No, if earning it is getting a job. Earning it is working. I have a job. I did for my...
Wait a minute, wait. Hold on a minute, stand up. Wait. What did you say, ma'am?
I said that is a job, and it's a job like any other job. And the wives, if they want, they can join in and do something else.
Right. You know, Flex selling went out in the 1800s.
Flesh selling went out when?
We're living in 1993. Flesh selling went out in the 1800s.
Wait a second. In 1990, Rebecca, in 1993, everything, a lot of the ads that you see on television sell their products through Flesh. And not only that, but I'm going to tell you, I certainly wish we had done this and we just didn't do it. But every time we do a show and we have these ladies come out here that are dancers, if I took and put a guy in the middle of the stage, look like Fabio, who strips in a dance club, every woman in this audience would be going like, let me go. Hold it. Yes, sir.
First of all, I'd like to make a comment. Mark, you blew it. She's a gorgeous girl. You blew it. Second of all, I want to know if either of these guys actually think that these women would marry them or go out with them or anything, because they probably think they're losers.
In my case, it was, I went with my friends to a club. I met this woman. We sat and we talked. I said, you know, I enjoyed my conversation. I went back for lunch. I spoke to her again. It wasn't a case where I sat there and said, oh, I've got to have her, I've got to have her. We started speaking. It became more passive. I saw her outside the club. I said, hey, why don't we go to lunch? We went to lunch outside. It ended up being, you know, a little bit later on being something else. Since then,
I sit with her. It's not an hour. You mentioned an hour. It's 5 hours of her whole shift. She'll sit with me and we'll talk or we'll play video poker or whatever.
Ain't she supposed to be dancing instead of talking?
No, as a matter of fact, the clubs are set up so that guys can sit and talk.
First off, I think Mark was lucky to get Nicole, like you said. She's a beautiful girl. I mean, let's face it, she's not going to get this chance again. And I think that if Nicole cares enough about him and he cares enough about her, they need to get counseling. I'm not your counselor. I'm just there to dance.
Okay, I got to take a break. I have to take a break. When I come back, Rebecca, I want to show the tape of you going to one of these clubs so you saw for firsthand what went on there, because you finally got a chance to see it. So we'll go take a look at that. When we come back, we'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. Of adult male clubs, men clubs, where men can go watch women undress and then afterwards sit down, have a conversation, talk about their problems at home, talk about their problems at work, their business. They basically are getting counseling, in a sense, from women who take their clothes off. Now, some people have a problem with this. You had a question.
I do have a problem. Doesn't Lucy and her friends feel guilty about doing this? I mean,
why should they feel
guilty? Good relationships, healthy relationships you're breaking up. I think it's...
Okay, all right.
How do you think I break a relationship up? I don't understand.
Because these guys are going in there for you guys.
If you go to a movie and see Sharon Stone semi-nude, is she breaking the relationship up? Do you run out of the theater?
No, because
but I don't think Sharon Stone I mean, it's tantalizing.
I think they had a problem in the first place.
You're insane. I don't know how you're insecure. I'm not insecure. You're highly insecure.
No.
Highly.
Okay, hold on a minute.
I have nothing to do with it.
Insecurity stems from when you're thinking or guessing or whatever. He's there.
So she's not in a relationship where you have to guess all the time what your boyfriend's doing.
She's not guessing anymore. I'm out of the relationship. I am getting out of the relationship.
Okay, hold on just a second. Yes, ma'am.
I know what they do for the professional life. What is their personal life like?
What do you mean, the ladies?
Yeah, but, I mean, do they have no boy problems in their personal lives? Like,
I go to college.
She goes to college.
I don't really have anything steady because I go with someone that I'm pretty steady with, and I don't see anybody else because I really don't have time to date. I go to school all day long. I go to the gym on the nights I don't work, and then I work, and then I sleep.
All right. Yes, sir.
You guys up there who's leaving women, I'd like to know, how could you expect to find true love in women who work in this profession?
For the record, Montel, her and I have reconciled. We've been working things out. We have a little girl together now. Whenever I left, we found out a little bit later on that we were having a baby. I said, look, this isn't going to work. During the entire time I was with the girl, I sat and told myself I was happier in the relationship I was in. I had put myself in a fantasy world. I put myself into a sense where I had said, I can go out with this girl, things are going to be great, people will see me as a better person, this is going to be this, or people are going to see, because people see, right, that's, and
you have no morals.
Okay.
Neither do these women.
Okay, well, let me.
Be moral. You look at me and you say I have no morals. You have no morals because of what you do.
All right, wait a minute. Let me. You know what? We took Rebecca into a club so she could see what it is supposedly goes on there. Let's take a look at this tape first. Let's take a look at this.
A room full of perverts. Do you realize half of these men in here are married, and 99% of them are just plain out-and-out perverts. Because they're perverts. Now, who's going to tell me this? They're not perverts. They are.
Well, you look pretty noticeably upset. This is where your husband goes?
Yes.
Places like this?
Yes, he does.
And he's off on a business trip right now?
Right now. Supposedly, he's out of town with his company. He works for a major company. And it's a national company, and he's one of the head people here. And
he writes us off on his credit card.
This company writes it. I mean, they okay it. They know what's going on.
But okay, but if the company is letting, if the company, so would you prefer the company pays for trips to McDonald's and not place to eat?
Right. They have business.
But what if they just want to eat? The guy wants to go eat. He wants to eat here. What's the problem?
These clubs, that's right.
Okay, so the problem is the fact that there are nude women there, and that's it. Bottom line.
Bottom line. It's funny because my uncle, we have one in our town, and my uncle, I asked him one time what would make a man go there, and he said him being the person that he is, he's not a man who wants to have sex and eat. Either he wants to do one or the other, so I don't see why you would need to go. I don't understand it. And my uncle, I think he's really a moral man. I love him to death. He's my favorite person.
So your uncle wouldn't go see a movie like she said, like Sliver or one of the movies with Sharon Stone and eat popcorn.
But he went.
So because if he's there, he's watching sex. He's watching new people.
But at those clubs, they have nude women, and those nude women stand in front of you, and they will spread, they will bend over, they will do whatever, and they work. I don't care what nobody says. They work 30 days a week, and as a woman, I just don't think that's right.
But obviously, we're filling a need that these men need.
30 days a week, and everybody knows. I don't feel like I have to say, but you work 30 days a week. Who would want to sit there and watch you nude?
30 hours a week. Okay. Yes.
First of all, I think that there's a problem in your relationship. And if you know that your husbands and your boyfriends are doing this, why don't you use it and fantasize with them? And I love my boyfriend saw
Why
these
would I want to be her? I want to be me. I don't feel like I should have to fantasize.
Use it. Fantasize with him. Then come out stronger.
No, if I cannot get turned on by the person I am with, then I don't need to be with them.
Okay, all right, I got to take another break. And when I come back, I'll get your point. We'll be back right after this.
When in the New York area, why not be a member of our studio audience? For complimentary tickets, call us at 212-840-1700.
We've been talking about this new wave club where not only can men go and watch women take their clothes off, but then they can sit down and have a conversation, and they get paid to have a conversation. Just normally a platonic kind of conversation. Andrea, you've been doing this for how long?
Oh, 3.5 years.
3.5 years. And this is paying for college for you?
Totally.
I
put money aside for when I start law school in September, so my first year is already paid for.
You are a pre-law student?
Yeah, at Northeastern in Boston.
And, you know, I hear a couple of people back there saying, yeah, right, but guys, show us your transcript.
What?
So,
I make my transcripts public.
The only reason why I say that is because there are a lot of women. When we started looking into this idea, I want to clear this up, we started looking into the idea of these kinds of clubs. We found out in places like Las Vegas and Atlanta, all over the country they have sprouted up, but there are women who are there who are nurses or doctors or psychiatrists, psychologists, look a little good, so they said, hey, why not make some extra money on the side? And that's what's going on, right?
Definitely. It's very easily.
All right, well, there are a lot of ladies out there who say that they don't think their husbands may be a kind of a guy that would do this. And joining us right now is a private investigator, Mr. Tony DiLorenza. Thank you very much for being here, Tony. Now, you can kind of let us, you get a lot of calls from wives who say, check out what my husband's doing, right?
Well, we specialize in matrimony investigations only.
Matrimony investigations. I like this name, you know what I mean? Sounds so good. We specialize in matrimony investigations only. And what do you get? You say, what's my husband doing at lunch? And then you go find out?
Well, a lot of times we handle upper management or executives of companies have a lot of time and don't have to report to anyone. And what we find is that they go to work at 9, they're always home on time, and the only time they could do anything is on their lunch break. And they find that sometimes a lot of their paychecks are short and the money's missing, they can't explain it. So they'll come to us and say, we're having some marital problems, the money's missing, things aren't really right, just tell me what he is doing. And we will go out and do surveillance for a couple of days on his lunch break, and then we report back to the client.
Now, a lot of times, do you find that these guys just go to clubs like this, or do you find much more?
Much more.
Much.
What we find is that there's a lot of the clubs like these women dance there's more clubs out there that are like touchy-feely clubs where you could go to a club and you could give a girl money and they would come up and sit on your lap and do whatever you want, even though they're executives going into these clubs. And we did a job one time where we hired these military investigators that were trying out for surveillance, and this guy, every day 12, will go to lunch and come back at 1. So we had him a few times at a go-go bar, but he really wasn't doing anything wrong. It was more lower than the high-class clubs that these girls dance at. So one day we're following this. The guy parks at 12 o'clock in the parking lot. A girl pulls up, young girl, starts getting out of her car, walking over to the guy's car, starts taking her pants off right in the parking lot. Here's my guys in the military would rewind their cameras. They're just going through rolls of film. She gets out of the car, gets back seat of the guy. The guy gets on top of her, does his thing for like 10, 15 minutes. He gets out, fixes himself up. She gets out, leaves. He goes back to work. He's back at work at 1 o'clock.
It's girls like that that give us a bad name.
Right, it's different. Yours is different.
Tony, there is a question, and this lady wants to get her question in, but beforehand, I mean, you have investigated people who go to clubs like this.
Correct.
And these clubs, I mean, I'm not going to say give us a percentage of ladies that work in these clubs that do the wrong thing, but most of these clubs that these women work at are high-scale clubs that don't do this kind of thing.
But we also, the guys that are going in there are high-skilled guys with big salaries. These girls are dancing for money. They're getting top dollar. Imagine getting a guy that's willing to give him $5,000 and go away with them for a business trip or something. These girls for $5,000, they'll be there in 2 seconds.
I've had that approach to me.
But these girls are professionals. They're doing it to do it for money. That's what their job is. And
let me get this lady's question in. Wait, this man.
Okay, first of all, you keep referring to these girls as counselors. She has a pre-law education.
I'm not a counselor.
No, I didn't say, I said they get counseling. I didn't say that they are counselors. These guys are saying that they get counseling in these clubs.
Oh, okay, because I don't think either one of them has the education to counsel anybody.
Right.
They might have the boobs, but not the education.
Sure, and that's what the guys are paying for.
Secondly, if you have children, you've got 3 kids there, and your kids have been, say, sick or whatever, and you're trying to cook and do everything you have to, and then they're supposed to come home, we're supposed to put a show on for them. I'm lucky I could get through a day when my kids were little.
No. I should not have given you the impression. I think that you need to put on a show, but I'm going to say, and I'll say it blatantly. You know, it's almost like saying that, you need to blame McDonald's for having up arches, and that's the reason why people go eat. If you don't want to eat there, don't go. And if the wives can't control, I'm going to tell you right now, my wife can control me in the sense that I'll have a conversation with her. If your wife can't control you and this is where she wants to be, it's not their fault that they're there. It's your fault because they go there, or his fault. I don't know. Or, and I should say, his fault. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
If she would have just stepped out of the picture, there would have been none of this. He had no intentions of leaving.
She's my aunt. She had no business taking my husband away.
Ladies who are seeking revenge against the women who stole their husbands on the next Montel Williams Show.
Are you a teenage girl in love with an older man? If so, call Montel's answering machine at 1-800-MONTEL-2.
We've been talking about upscale men's clubs, and I'm here with Ava, and you dance in one of these clubs. As a matter of fact, you were one of the people in the video that we saw. And I'm trying to get to understand why women would go and do this. What did you used to do? What's your job?
I have a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology and chemistry. I worked as a research lab assistant.
For what? For who? Like NASA?
York University.
So you worked as a research chemist,
Yeah.
and then you said, what? I want to make some more money?
I want to travel, not instead of when I'm 60, and I also can't live on what these people are paying me.
So you've gone to clubs and you do this?
Yes.
And it's okay with you?
It's great.
Okay, so Rebecca, I've got to come back to this. So this woman who you say has no morals, has gone through college, has a Bachelor's of Science degree in chemistry, worked as a research person in chemistry, and now she's doing this because she can make more this way than, this is what women ought to be mad about. You ought to be angry at the fact that a woman who has got a degree can't make the same salary as guys, and this is the only way she can be, compensated, right?
Exactly.
Okay, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, Rebecca?
Well, you can package it any way that you want to.
Okay.
But when you open the package, it's the same thing inside. A whore is a whore, period. You can try to justify it any way that you want to.
Wait a minute.
You can try to justify it any way that you want to.
I'm not trying to justify it anyway, but I mean, it's one thing to call the women who go and sleep with your husband one thing. That's what you can do. You can do that. And I would allow you, to do that. You can call any woman who has sold flesh to your husband, then you can call them whatever you want. But to just make a blanket statement, say all these women are whores, this, that, and the other, I'm going to tell you I have to disagree with you because I know I've been to these clubs, these women are not, all these women are sleeping with these men, and just because you're angry because your husband is not taking care of what he needs to take care of at home, don't blame her and her if they're out here taking care of their own business and taking your husband's money. Not sleeping with him. Yeah,
it's not just my husband's money, it's my money.
The chain is
And to be a real woman, try my job for a while. Try my job for a while.
What is your job?
7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
No
I've got
one works
2 kids,
that much.
and it is full time.
That was your choice.
Sorry. That's right.
I hear the music and I got to take a break. We'll take a little break and we'll be back right after this.
For a printed transcript, send $5 to The Montel Williams Show, Journal Graphics Incorporated, 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call 303-831-9000. For video cassettes, call Video Archives at 1-800-4VIDEO. Major credit cards accepted. Please indicate show date and topic.
Well, we're almost out of time. I want to thank all of our guests for being here. Thank you very much. And Rebecca, you wanted to say something because your husband is out on the road. What did you want to tell him?
I'd like to inform him that when he gets home, I'm keeping the kids, I'm keeping the sports car, I'm keeping the house, and his paycheck. He is now out of my life, and he's out of my life for good.
He's history. Okay, well, I know you're watching from wherever you are, so remember, when you do get home, it's like, see ya, she don't want you back no more. With that in mind, I want to ask, again, thank you all for joining us today, and remember, there's one point that I brought up a little earlier in the show. These clubs are out there. Men are going to these clubs. There are not people standing on a street corner with big hooks yanking your husbands in. There are not people standing on big street corners with big billboards saying, you better walk in here or we're going to shoot you and you're going to die. Now, if you got a problem with that, then I think you and your husband need to go to counseling. I'm not going to say that any woman needs to go and learn how to do this. Go to counseling and fix the problem yourselves between the two of you. But let's not make blanket statements and call every single one of these people that are in this business whatever name that you want to call them, because it's not fair. We're out of time. I got to go. Join us on the next Montel Williams Show.
Cheracol D, soothing cough relief for ages 2 to adult. A trusted formula with a pleasant cherry flavor. Cheracol D, a tradition in good taste.
Jonell's Calcium Gel Growth Accelerator thickens nails as it conditions and strengthens. The ultimate protective nail hardener. Calcium Gel Growth Accelerator from Jonell.
Hey, Remington, shave this. Introducing the Remington Triple Foil, the only shaver with 3 narrow microscreens. Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
Viacom.